Look at me looking like an angel on earth. Hi, people. I'm not really ready, but I will be real shortly. Like, I got a new deck of cards yesterday. So, I'm not all that familiar with them, but I think they're pretty cute. That's a good word for it. Hopefully that little bit of radio wasn't enough to get me a copyright violation. Two of Wands in the reverse. I feel like someone being at a crossroads and making a choice, because I feel like they're feeling some pressure or some pushback or something like nudging them aggressively towards a direction or a path. Nudging aggressively. So it's like I'm wondering too if this is not some guide of yours or some crossed over loved one who is nudging you aggressively, because I'm getting a sense and a feeling of somebody that like cares. They care about you, but it's like this is urgent. So I'm either urgently pushing you in the direction that you need to go, or it's like I am cutting things off. Like, if you find things that you really wanted just not working out, part of that too is because you are being nudged and pushed in the direction to go. Almost like sheep. What do you call it? Like a sheepdog? It's like if you even stray a little bit, they're like, nope, back this way. Nope, back this way, until you're right where they want you. Now I just picked up another thing with this, and take it how it resonates. It could be one or the other. It could be both. It could have nothing to do with each other. But you can take it that way, or you can take it as two. I said they have you right where they want you. So some of you may have been in circumstances where people are kind of like affecting or having some kind of pull on the circumstances around you, perhaps environmentally, perhaps atmospherically. Say, for instance, if you keep to yourself, but this person or these people have a large social circle, by projecting any opinions of you that they have onto their circles, and then the ripple effect. Then there's already this perception or misconceived notion of you, but you don't really interact with anybody. And so it's like whatever they say or has projected is just assumed. So there may be some protection also from this ancestor, this guide. And it could be an ancestor that is a guide, because of these things going on around you. That got deep. Ooh. We had the Three of Swords in the reverse. That's a relief to me, because like there's this feeling of some kind of retribution to the things that have, I feel like, broken your heart. Like the injustices, people having camaraderie with each other in order to bring these hurtful words and actions against you. And I feel like you never really even understood, like, why are, like, it just seems so basic and childlike, but, like, why are people so mean? Why are they mean? Why are they doing this to me? And I feel like this isn't like a one-time thing too. It's like, and it could be, you know, different people who aren't connected to each other, whatever. Take it how it goes for your situation. Excuse me. But it's like, you could have, it could be like a long history of being betrayed, getting stabbed in the back, having horrific emotional trauma occur to you, losses, you know, a horrible string of it, and then you have people intentionally perpetrating events on purpose to just see how far down they can get you. But anyhow, this is some guidance towards retribution, like I'm saying. There's something else. There's something huge, massive, bigger on the other side of this. These people are, what do you call it? The big fish in a little pond, or a big pond, if you will. But there's so much more that is bigger than them that, you know, you got more pool in that territory than they do here in the pond. Overall, massively. But there is some overall guidance to give retribution for all this pain and heartache and loss, and people try to myrtleize you one way or the other. For some people this is physical, and for some people this is like emotionally, mental, like your soul. They tried to get you to break. They weren't gonna do anything. Their goal is to get you to break. I don't know if this is a test or if it is a sadistic thing, but it's like, yeah, they wanted to get you to break. So you went through a lot. And you're being guided towards getting some kind of justice, some kind of redemption, and all of these injustices being healed as you are healing from them simultaneously. I think these cards have had it. That was only 2 of those cards. Whatever. We're going to get some different cards. I did the Clint Eastwood deck. Well, I call it the Clint Eastwood deck, but that's not what it is. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly decisions deck. By Devin and Lindy. Oops. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So I have a feeling like you know, like I said, they're trying to lead you and guide you and nudge you into the right direction. And I feel like in this instance, you would be the horse. and they're trying to lead you to that which it is that you need. But like, have any of you guys ever dealt with an animal or a pet, or some stray, whatever, and you set out some food or water or whatever, and you just try to show it to them, but it's like they're not paying attention. They're like, they're just going everywhere else. That's how we are sometimes. Or just stubborn or whatever. I feel like in this instance, stubborn. And yeah, that's my point, is along this journey of them trying to lead you and guide you and nudge you, that's what they're doing. However, you are stubborn, like a mule. Sometimes you really just dig your heels into something and you're like, what is that, Ice Age? I don't know if that's a hedgehog or what he is, but he's like, this is my hole. I'm not leaving. This is my hole. And it's kind of like, once you have stood your ground on something, anything, you could just be dead set that that's what it is. Or, for instance, if you've already rejected something, then you may have, like, once you write it off, you just write it off. But it could be the thing that you need, but you just wrote it off. So how would you know? That's stubbornness. Yeah. So I'm seeing it as like your guides or whoever, they almost have to just get you around this obstacle, which is your own stubborn self. They gotta get you over yourself. Get over yourself. I'm getting that too. Get over yourself. So it's like you've had all of these injustices and stuff done to you, so whenever you perceive somebody as having done an injustice to you, then you basically cut that off with a vengeance, hold a grudge. But you see it as self-care. And I'm like, I wouldn't disagree over here, but you see it as self-care. But they're saying it's to the extent that it's a detriment to you because you're cutting off yourself from something that I don't want to get as drastic as need to live, i.e. water, but something that can replenish you or nurture you, help you be more healthy. Like, it could be a good thing. It could be the thing that you need. We have bathtub. I'm getting two things with that. For the first thing, bathtub, don't ask why, but I'm getting like baptism, as in to renew something, I feel like to renew a connection with somebody. And I feel like whenever we're talking about your guides helping you get justice, redemption, whatever, we're not talking about revenge, we're talking about what you deserve. And there's this connection that you have been ignoring or have shut off because it's kind of like you're making them pay for previous injustices that have been done to you. And it's not to say that they didn't do anything wrong, but it's like your judgment is so harsh because you don't mess around. And either this person didn't understand that, or you just perceived things to be differently than this person intended them to be. But either way, there's somebody that you have written off that actually could be a good thing. And it's like, whatever has tainted this connection, there needs to be some kind of renewal, and like I got baptism, and it's like once you do renew things, so you can't rehash old stuff and keep bringing up old stuff, even if that's your own memories of other things that reminded you of, like, you can't hold old things against the other person. They shouldn't hold old things against you in regards to each other or in previous cycles that are similar. It's not a walk in a park. It's not a walk in the park. So, basically, it may not always be easy, and the work that you have done, you're going to have to continue to be able to do the work. And part of that is also not cutting off yourself to the point where you don't allow others redemption. As you receive it, you should at least be capable of giving it. Certainly, there are instances in which you are right. You know, those protection mechanisms kick in, but you don't have to bring out the big guns on everybody. Oops, am I not supposed to say that? I'm sorry. I meant water ones. Nerf ones, something like that. Okay, so the last time I was with you, a friend of mine came by and brought me some divorce papers that I had asked her to print off. So she brought those to me, and then I just kind of went, woo, for a couple of days and got sidetracked. So here I am now at the park. So they're doing work and stuff. Forgive the noise. Some cards just blew across the place. So let's I just kind of want to look at what those cards said. I haven't really looked at them. I kind of looked at them, picking them up and everything, but I haven't looked at them. Okay. We have the sun. I'm getting the word reevaluation. So I feel like looking at something and with a little bit of light being shed on the subject, there being some kind of more positive outlook or potential. Reevaluation. Maybe you saw somebody as having red flags previously, that you're seeing like a lot of the red flags that you are seeing either was from their like childhood traumas and the ways that they coped with that, or it was your childhood traumas affecting the way that you were seeing how things were going on between you. So what you were seeing as red flags could have been things that you have unhealed within you, deflecting onto them. Nine of Swords. And even though it's like, you know, there's a difference when you're sad between regular sadness and happy tears. And with the Sun card, it's like, even as I was reading the Sun card, and it was, I was still getting these, that I wanted to cry, these tears. But I feel like it's this kind of somebody finally, like when their true self is finally exposed and somebody is seeing them for like who they are, because they may feel helpless and hopeless in the situation, like there's nothing that they can do. Like you already may have your mind made up about certain things or qualities about them. But the moment whenever there's this realization that you may understand or you are seeing things in a new light, where they feel like they can be safe and vulnerable with you about I feel like it's like this it's this mutual relief. Because I feel like in the interim of you not speaking or not having anything to do with one another, that you are both still readdressing unhealed traumas, and a lot of it rooted in childhood and deep ones that you thought that were already healed, but after finding that there were levels to it, you just pop up randomly in alignment with the full moons. You may have noticed a lot of this kind of energy coming in for yourself. I'll be right back. Okay, and it's like someone could still be kind of in this energy though. Depressed, can't sleep, up at late, they may be stressed about numerous things. They may be suffering numerous losses, or it feels like it. They may feel disconnected. I feel like this is somebody who feels like they're isolated and alone and left to deal with. Like this is somebody who one of their childhood traumas is abandonment or neglect. It's like they were just pushed away, or they were left to fend for themselves and had extreme anxiety, but they may not have even known it was an anxiety disorder as a child. They may not have realized this until they became an adult. And for you to finally not have a misconception about them and finally see them for who they are and understanding, the stuff that they've been through and the misconceptions and how your own traumas play into the way that you perceive this other person's personal experience and how you perceive the way they interact with you, how you have been perceiving the way they interact with you may not be their intention. You may be acting out of traumas or I don't want to say like environmental, atmospheric, narcissistic experiences, ties you've had in your environments. Queen of Wands. I feel like this whole energy of despair, Nine of Swords energy, is a mutual energy. I feel like you have both have gone through it at different points. I feel like the feminine energy, I feel like you both, like, it's kind of like you rotate it. It's almost like you're tag teaming, doing, I was going to say transformative work, but not transformative work, but transmutation. It's like you guys tag team it, even though you're two individual people, it's like you do shifts. I don't want to keep talking about that, but I hope you know what I mean. It's like while one person is resting, the other one stands up and stands guard. And I feel like in your environment, just transmuting the stuff that's going on around you and in your community too. But anyhow, the Queen of Wands energy, this feminine aspect, has done a lot of independent individual work and really just listens to her soul's calling and follows the beat of her own drummer. She is off the beaten path and doesn't really cling to or take anyhow. I'm hearing disregard. She disregards any kind of advice for sound like business sense because she feels like she's not following a formula, she's following a calling. And nobody can give her that other than the voice that it is that she's listening to. Which I feel like is her own, but is connected to a higher divinity, whether that be it could be connections to both the light angels of light and the infernal deities. Even darkness is a part of the whole, and this person can walk both. It's like there's, because they don't attain to a certain doctrine or belief or stands outside the norms of society, it makes this person more impartial and more fair whenever it comes to the rule in the nature of order. It's like this person fairly balances everything in the spiritual environmental realms and is able to like walk both worlds, here and there, good, bad, but it's like all interconnected and a part of. Getting too deep. It's the energy that this feminine carries and has also been through this energy and has risen from it and healed from it and fallen to it again and risen from it and healed from it, and it's like she's become tempered in the flames. But then you have this masculine here, I believe, who is also in this energy. But I feel like somehow this Queen of Wands holds the key to helping him to see the light. Because he's still in the darkness of his situation. Flip-flop, the energies, feminine, masculine, male, female, according to it. Whatever. We have everything is fine in the reverse. Someone could be in distress over an ending, over multiple endings. Some things may be catching up with them. They could be neglecting their mental health. They could be overworked and overstressed. And among all of this, feeling so isolated and so alone and so without support moving through these changes and these feelings, that everything is not fine. This person is on the edge of a mental break because they feel like they have suffered many losses. And one of those losses was any kinds of means of support, of even knowing how to deal with their feelings or their thoughts and the way that things are going through. I feel like they feel like they don't have anyone really to speak to that can understand or willing to listen, or it's worth the effort. They may feel mentally trapped in a situation. They may feel like everything is falling on their head, just bricks falling on their head. Justice. They could be feeling like they're dealing with some type of karma, or they may have gotten themselves into some type of a legal situation, or they may not have gotten themselves into one, but one may have found them. You know, it's like they could be moving through life having so much on their plate that they're already dealing with, and then boom, all of a sudden a lawsuit, or somebody wants to take them to court for divorce or child support or whatever. But it's somebody's getting got for something, and even if it's not in the actual legal manner, it could be karma. They could be feeling like karma, whatever is going on. Two of Wands. I feel like I could be wrong here, but one way that I'm seeing it is I feel like this person could be figuring out which way they need to go in order to evade justice, to evade the long arm of the law. Somebody is thinking about absconding. This is not for everybody. This is just in someone's situation. Someone's thinking about absconding and going at a distance, but they're not really sure where yet. But in this situation, it's like the law's not unjustly out to get them. They know that they have done something that they're going to have to balance the scales on. And someone may be thinking like if they just go south, that their chances might be better. But it's like the law would anticipate that too. This is for somebody. For others, it's just, you know, it's a simple case of either karma is they just feel like they've done a lot of bad shit in the past, and not only do they have so much going on right now, but some shit is happening that is dumping on them right now, and they feel like it could be karma for how poopy they was in the past in regards to other people. For someone, it could be actual, you know, involvement in the justice system. Two of Cups. Someone could be seeking, you know, either a friendship or a companion, somebody who they can emotionally, I feel like, I don't want to feel like bail off onto or deflect onto, but like emotionally connect with, to mirror things back to them, and it's like help them to realize, to see the difference between what really is going on and what is reality, and help them to calm down in a sense, because I feel like this person really has a strong anxiety. So it's like they need an outside perspective, but in normal everyday life they don't let anybody in. But that's what they really need to do, is to seek somebody that they can connect with on an emotional level, and that will, you know, be patient with them. This isn't for everybody, but you or somebody you're dealing with could have like a God complex, or not a God complex, like a Messiah or Christ or Savior complex. Somebody may always feel like they need to help somebody, or has been like that in the past. Captain Save-A-Ho energy. Not for everybody. Take what resonates with your situation. Alright, whenever the cards all flew all over the ground, these were the only ones that were, they were laying flipped over on the table. And Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Somebody who's been left out on the outside of something, who has been feeling like they've been traveling alone, being neglected, wanting to get back in on the inside. Oops. And have that partnership, someone to at least see them. Hold on. I have to go rescue a card. Alright. That was the Ace of Swords. That's confirmation to me whenever I'm like, what is this coming? Because then I get all of these things bouncing around, and I know it's multiple things, possibly from multiple people. Then I'm like, well, I'm just talking now. That's validation for me that this is going to resonate for at least somebody. Alright, so the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Someone wanting to come back in from out of the cold. Wanting to bridge the gap and distance between them and another connection with the Six of Wands. That's what I've been saying. Somebody finally being seen, acknowledged. I feel like validated, because someone is able to let down their guard or their defenses in regards to this connection. Someone had up their guard and their defenses in regards to this connection, but the only reason they did was because they were seeing the unhealed actions that the person that they was dealing with as basically it was a trigger. It was a threat to them. It was a threat to them, to their safety and security, whether that was emotionally or physically. And it really, may not have been. It may just have been the way that things were perceived, because not one person had unhealed stuff, but both people had unhealed stuff. And it's like somebody here, it has been viewed as a monster or as being complicit with one. And meanwhile, they're suffering and going through a bunch of stuff alone and don't know how to handle it and don't know how to reach out, because all anybody is going to think about them is that they're a monster or that they're lying. But they really just need somebody to see them for who they are, because they have traveled a long ways alone. Like, even if they had people around them, they were constantly projecting what maybe they thought people wanted to see instead of being their selves. And in that sense, no matter who they had around them, they were alone because nobody was with them. They were with the character. This person needs to open up and be able to be vulnerable and have a connection and bond. It's almost like soothing the beast, They need something to bring them down out of that anxiety, and it may not be something where they're around all the time or they need somebody around all the time, but it's like especially in the moments of panic or in the moments when they're spiraling or they're at their deepest, darkest. It's like they need a handhold buddy or a companion or somebody to look them in the eyes and be like, I see you, I see what you're going through, like, you're gonna be okay, like, you need to look at the numbers. How many tell me 5 things you can smell, 5 things you can see, 5 things you can touch. Somebody to help you get yourself centered and aligned. Queen of Pentacles. Somebody who's got this protector, motherly energy, and it's like, even if they don't go in and actively do something, they are the one who possesses the knowledge that they share and pass down to those who are willing to listen to it. But if you don't listen to it, they're just going to let you go on about your business and make your own mistakes. But should you want to learn, they possess the knowledge to help you to be more self-sufficient, because as your mother, they want to help you to be able to succeed without them. They want you to have the tools and the knowledge to be able to do it without them. And that's one reason too that they don't come in and rescue you, because you need to be able to be responsible enough yourself to listen, and if you don't listen, to deal with the consequences of those actions, but then also to know how to correct and, then use that for a come up. Even a mistake is a come up, because from your mistakes you gain knowledge. And that knowledge that you gain from that mistake, that 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 times, is just going to make you a harder boss to beat at the end of the game. So don't get yourself down, cuh. I think that That's all I've got for right now. Maybe. I don't want to make it too long. Okay. Yeah, that's all I got.